What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Quiet Speculation YouTube channel. I am LessAlex, and today we are going to be heading to Pioneer to play a brand new-ish deck that has popped up on the RCQ circuit. So if you're looking for a good, new, fresh, fun deck to play at your local RCQ coming up, or maybe you even have an RC coming up, this might be a great choice because it is really new. And this is Zoomer Drake. So why is it called Zoomer? Well, it was created and kind of developed by a bunch of younger players, Zoomers, as they're called in the Magic community. Why is this different than, say, something like an Arclight Phoenix deck, right? Because this looks like Arclight Phoenix. We're playing a lot of the same cards, right? We're playing Ledger Shredders, Considers, Fiery Impulse, Fable, things like that, Treasure Cruise. Well, it's playing for Crackling Drake, and Crackling Drake, a great card from Standards past, but here it is, finding its way in Pioneer. And yeah, this is 2 blue, 2 red for a creature Drake from Guilds of Ravnica. It's an uncommon flying, and its power is equal to the total number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. So when you exile cards with Treasure Cruise, it still will count towards your Crackling Drake power. And then whenever it enters the battlefield, you get to draw a card. Nice little chef's kiss, cherry on top there. Another card that is popping up that I'd never even really heard of until I saw this deck is Blitz of the Thunder-Raptor. A really awesome name, but this is a 2-mana instant from Ikoria, uncommon. Blitz the Thunder-Raptor deals damage equal to target creature or planeswalker equal to the number of instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard. If this creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. So very, very relevant, being able to exile Greasefangs and things of that nature. Very, very relevant. It also plays Fires of Victory, which is very similar. So it's 1 and a red. It has Kicker for 2 and a blue. It is an instant. If this spell was kicked, draw a card. Then it says, Fires of Victory deal damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to the number of cards in your hand. So similar but different. No exile. We're playing 2 Strangles. Spikefield Hazard is here. Of course, we're playing red, so we have to be playing Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Freshly banned in Standard. Fiery Impulse. Spell Pierce as a 4 of. Fading Hope as a 1 of. We've got 2 Hall of the Storm Giants and 4 Ledger Shredders here. Basically, what you want to do is you want to stick an early Ledger Shredder, kind of protect it. You can clear out the way with Strangles, Spikefields, Blitzes, things of that nature. If they land a bigger creature, you can Fading Hope it. Fable's here, of course, just the best red card basically in the format. And yeah, and then late game, quote-unquote late game for us, you stick a Crackling Drake. This thing can be a 9 or 10 power creature, and if they can't answer it, you just almost kill them immediately. Another cool thing is a flipped Fable turns into reflections of Kiki-Jiki, obviously, and you can copy Crackling Drake and basically alpha strike them and kill them in one shot. So very, very fun stuff. The deck is a tempo-based deck, which I really, really like these style decks. Izzet, tempo is always a fun archetype that I enjoy. So if that is to your preference, this might be an excellent deck for you to pilot, again, at a local or at an RCQ or something like that. Moving on over to the sideboard, we've got 2 Alpine Moon because Lotus Field combo is still around. We've got Mazemind Tome for control or some grindy mid-range decks. We've got Aether Gust, comes in against mono green, can play against red decks, obviously. Disdainful Stroke for any deck trying to do big dumb things. We've got Abrade, kills artifacts, deals 3 damage. And then we've got Mystical Dispute against the Mirror, against any blue deck control, things like that. Brotherhood's in. Anything against mono-white aggro or any other low-to-the-ground creature decks. So that is Izzet Zoomer Drakes. Really excited for this one. This deck's really up my alley. I do love tempo decks, so super stoked for this. Make sure to like the video, comment down below what you think, and of course subscribe to Quiet Speculation. I'm LessAlex, and if you would like to chop it up elsewhere on the internet with me, check out Twitter at LessAlex over there. And yeah, let's jump into this one. Let's see what we get here. Probably move this up here. All right, well, this hand does not have a creature, but we've got some protection. I'm going to keep... It's kind of risky to keep this because we don't have a creature, but I'm going to keep it. Or not. Make that real small and put it right there. We'll lead with Steam Vents tapped, and we will pass. Yeah. All right. All right. Temple of Mystery. So maybe this is Lotus combo. We shall see. Opt. Well, let's opt. That is not what we want. Of course, Motobug gets us. All right, pass back. And there's the Sylvan Scrying. Okay, let's see what they get. So almost assuredly, there's Lotus. Yep. Our hand not very good against Lotus Field. Not very good. We could... Oh, Spell Pierce was a good draw. I was about to say we could draw a Spell Pierce. Play Lavaglide and pass. Would have liked to have Sylvan Scrying that. Or Spell Pierce that. Voyaging Satyr. Okay. Now they play the Lotus Field. We will Fire Impulse the Satyr. And they will sacrifice 2 lands. All right. Back to us. Maybe. Treasure Cruise. 4, 5, 6. So we do not have enough for Treasure Cruise yet. If only we could target their face with these, we'd be able to cast Treasure Cruise on our turn. Maybe they'll give us something to Spell Pierce. I doubt it. Usually you just go Lotus or well, let's see now. They might Vizier. Okay, well, not much we can do about that. But usually you just play your Thespian Stage and pass, typically. They might be going for it here, though, if they have Thespian Stage in their hand. If this is Sylvan Scrying, we cannot Spell Pierce it. There's Thespian Stage. I get to copy here. All right. Our turn. With no pressure. So 5, 6, 7. Still cannot. Man. Maybe we should have just mulliganed to a creature. Maybe that's just a play with this deck. All right, they've got 6 mana. Let's see what they've got. Pour over the pages. We could Spell Pierce. Green. Voyaging Satyr, okay. That's fine. Cycle. Can't stop that. And here's a pour, maybe? And there's the pour. Okay, well, we will Spell Pierce that. Don't think we're getting another opportunity this turn to Spell Pierce anything. And we have Fiery Impulse. Alrighty. Crackling Drake. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce. Ooh, we drew a Spell Pierce. We drew a Spell Pierce. Very good. Basically our best draw there. And now we've got Drake next turn. Ooh, is this another pour? Leer. All right, well, Leer's very good. We have to kill this Leer. The question here is, do we play Crackling Drake? I think we might need to. Because the fact that they played Leer and nothing else tells me they don't have a whole lot going on. If we draw a land... All right, we're playing this. We can Spell Pierce still. All right, Impulse. Well, we can't Spell Pierce that. Not yet, at least. Because they only have 1 in pool, but they do have 4 available mana if they were to tap their Lotus Field. Another Thespian Stage. They're just copying. Yep. Copy, that's fine. And their mana pool is cleared. Okay, well, we live to fight another turn. We live to fight another turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we do that. We're really relying on this Spell Pierce. All right. Well, Fading Hope's decent too. We'll attack for 8. Down to 12. Pass back. They're going to have so much mana. Uh-oh. Yeah. That is an emergent ultimatum. All right. All righty. Let's see what they give us. Probably Omniscience. So if we give them Omniscience and Dark Petition, they can still pay the 2. I don't think we can give them. Poor, they untap 2 lands. We're in rough shape here because no matter what we give them, they pay the 2. Pretty brutal. I don't think we can give them Omniscience though. So we'll give them Poor and Dark Petition. All right. They still might go for like a Balaged Recovery, their Leer. That is a possibility. I don't know how realistic it is, but they should have it though. They should. With Omniscience not in play, you never know. Sure. Okie doke. Here's Omniscience. Maybe not. All right. You can get Chandra, yep. Balaged, target Leer. What's the other one targeting? Are they? Oh, Dark Petition. Dark Petition goes to get another. We can't Fading Hope this. It doesn't matter because I can replay it. All right, well, Omniscience really does mess with us. We lose game 1 to Lotus Combo. Well, we know that Alpine Moon's coming for sure. Aether Gust stops. Actually, do we want Aether Gust or do we want Mystical Dispute? I think we want Mystical Dispute. Maybe we just want it all, right? Maybe we just want it all. don't know. Let's see. We can take that out. Got 7 more cards to replace. Strangle seems pretty bad because it's sorcery speed. Spikefield, not great. Maybe 1 and 1 of these two. Try this. We will submit. All right. Let me know in the comments if you would sideboard differently. I definitely like Alpine Moon, Mystical Dispute, and Disdainful Stroke. I'm not sure if Aether Gust is right, though. Aether Gust does counter Ultimatum and Chandra, though. So I like that. And Lavaglide. Yes. Another hand with no creatures, but this time we do have some interaction. I'm going to keep it. We're going to lead on Steam Vents and look to opt. Our life total is pretty much irrelevant. They do probably bring in creatures in this matchup. You could see Zakama or Dragon Lord Dramoka in this matchup. So, ooh, they drew the island. It's interesting. Bottom that. Get a Drake. Play Pathway and pass back. Definitely considering end step here. Thespian Stage. Okay, so not the best draw for them. Never really want to discard or sacrifice your Thespian Stages. All right, well, that's a land. We'll keep that on top. Otawara, pretty decent. We're 1 turn away from Crackling Drake. There's Lotus Field. Okay. And they do not use. Okay, so they didn't have an impulse or anything. Interesting. I think we're safe to just play Crackling Drake here. We got to get pressure down. We'll draw a card. Spell Pierce. Whew. Our hand is flush. Hopefully they don't do anything crazy. They could win from here. They could do Cycle Vizier. Ooh, and they did have a second Thespian Stage in hand. Let's see what they do. Okay, so they're just copying. So they're not going off this turn. That's good. That means next turn we're going to have some ways to fight back. That's great. But they could have had the win there if they cycled Vizier. And I mean, it would have taken a lot. But usually like 2 Viziers and a... 2 Viziers or 2 Hidden Strings and a way to get some action is usually the keys to success in those early turns. All right, we'll pass back. Just poke them for 2. They've got 6 mana. What can they do with it? Let's see. We've got a ton of counterspells. Impulse. That will resolve. We can't Disdainful Stroke it in. You know, obviously Spell Pierce, they have available 4 mana, so. But that's good for us. That means they, you know, they're looking. They're on the hunt for something here. All right, here we go. Hidden Strings. Okay. Hidden Strings happens. More blue. Okay, so this is another Hidden Strings? Or a Pour? Pour. Well, we've got a Disdainful Stroke. Do you have a counterspell? Narset's Reversal. We will Spell Pierce that. And they have a Spell Pierce of their own. We will Spell Pierce that. Gotta save that. Alrighty. Alright, well, we dodged it this turn. And now we've got quite a few more instants and sorceries in our graveyard. So. Alpine Moon? Not Alpine Moon. We got 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can Treasure Cruise. All right, Aether Gust. Well, we'll play the land. Attack for 6. Go to 12. And pass the turn. We've got Disdainful Stroke and Aether Gust. They play Botanical Sanctum. Hidden Strings. Yep. Hidden Strings resolves. Emergent Ultimatum? Nope. Omniscience, maybe? Ooh. Ugin. Well, we cannot let that resolve. Do they have another counterspell? I would be very surprised. Okay, I was going to say. They do have a Sylvan Scrying. Okay, so they can get Otawara to bounce our Crackling Drake. Be pretty decent. Yep, Otawara, as I suspected. Can't use it this turn, though, thankfully. Fable. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't Treasure Cruise. I think we're supposed to just play our Fable. Get a Deuter. And attack. All right, down to 5. So they have the Otawara. Wow. They have fought through a lot this game. It's very possible they can still win. Otawara, sure. That's a good sign for us. That's a good sign for us. Hidden Strings into Ultimatum. Be pretty good. Another Sanctum. Okay, 1 card in hand. All right, and we're going to get to discard these Fiery Impulses. with our Fable trigger, so that'll be good. Yes. All right. Let's see. Crackling Drake. Hopefully they don't have a mystical dispute. They do not. Draw a card. Hall of Storm Giants. I guess we could have played that. We probably should have played that. That would have given us 2 lethal attackers next turn if they have a way to deal with Crackling Drake again. They've only got 1 card in hand, though. Obviously 2 now, but we'll see. Okay, a Vizier is a pretty good way for them to start their turn. Gets a redraw, untaps. They generate a mana off that as well. And they scoop it up. All right, we win game 2. All right, well, I think they did they take out? That's not good. Maybe Mazemind Tome? Actually, Fires is probably better than Fiery Impulse because we could potentially draw a card. Keep in mind, we didn't even draw Alpine Moon that game. I still like Blitz because it kills... I'm bringing Mazemind Tombs. I don't know if that's right, but I like... As I was saying, though, I like Blitz because it kills Leer, potentially. Mazemind Tomb seems kind of clunky, but I don't know. We're on the draw, which is really rough. Our hand's got to be pretty strong. Well, this time we have pressure, but no protection. And Blitz doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, I don't think we can keep this, unfortunately. This is ish. I mean, it's got Aether Gust. So if they're relying on Emergent Ultimatum, this is decent. We can go Spirebluff, Path, or Steam Vent, Spirebluff, Ledger Shredder, Coast. And we'll put back a Riverglide. Okay. Botanical Sanctum. No 1-drop. No Grazer. Spell Pierce, excellent draw. Let's play Spirebluff. This way, if they have a Sylvan Scrying, we can Spell Pierce it. Good draw. You gotta draw cards, you know? You gotta draw good cards. And there it is. All right. Easy peasy. Mac and cheesy. Whew. All right. Good draw. Now we're going to shock in Steam Vents and play Ledger Shredder. And if they don't have Lotus in their hand, I mean, that's really backbreaking for them. Or obviously like another Sylvan Scrying or something. All Otawara, I still think we play this because Otawara could bounce Omniscience late game. Or a Leer, potentially. So. All right, we got our Shredder. Let's see, do they have... Okay, Impulse. I would rather let an Impulse resolve rather than a Sylvan Scry. Sylvan Scry, they just automatically go get whatever land they want. Obviously, with Impulse, there is a fail rate. All right. They found Lotus Field. Do they have the Thespian stage? That is a question that will be answered on their next turn. Alrighty. Fires of Victory. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so obviously no Treasure Cruise yet. And we'll pass. Four cards in hand, about to be 5. All right. What you got, opponent? Botanical Sanctum. That's great to see. Vizier. Okay. That's fine. They are cycling Vizier rather than playing it. So they've generated 1 mana off that. Already played their land. There's Pour Over the Pages, though. So that'll net them 4 mana. Okie doke. Can't stop it, so. Love to Spell Pierce that. We would love to Spell Pierce that. Let's see what they discard. Probably that land or something. If we don't draw a land, we will be forced to play Otawara. I want to keep hitting our land drops. Well, they're in the tank about what they need to discard. Dark Petition. Okay. Are they going to try and do this hard mode this turn? No. Probably for the best. Oh. Maybe I spoke too soon. Ledger Shredder. Oh, they're casting Vizier. Okay, well, we will trigger our Ledger Shredder. Another Ledger Shredder. I think discarding Treasure Cruise is actually the play here. Because we're going to fires the Vizier. Yeah. We can't let them have Vizier. Hopefully they don't have a counterspell. Because Spell Pierce here would be pretty good. But we got to go ahead and cast this. Four cards in their hand. Oh my goodness, they have the Spell Pierce. All right, touche. All right, well, Steam Vince was a good draw. The question becomes, do we play the Ledger Shredder or do we just Otawara their Vizier? I think we just have to get rid of the Vizier. Make them basically time walk them. All right. They've got 7 minutes on clock, too. There's Sylvan Scrying. So they'll have enough mana to play and copy here. Yep. And that's their turn. 4 cards in hand still for them. We know one of them is a Vizier. Crackling Drake. I think we got to play the Shredder here. All right, well, we'll attack. Down to 15. They have their engine. There are 2 Lotus Fields. And now they get to do some fun things. Hidden Strings, yep. All right. Is this an Omniscience? A Vizier. Okay, so they're still looking. They're cycling here. Doesn't feel like an Emergent Ultimatum. There's Omniscience. Okay, we'll trigger the birds twice. Spell Pierce number 1. Okay, well, I think we got to discard Drake. And Mystical Dispute. All right, well, we'll Mystical Dispute this. Our set's reversal. Alrighty. Holy smokes. They've got under 5 minutes left. And we've got Aether Gust in our hand. Alrighty. Here we go. Our set's reversal was not good enough. Oh boy. Dramoka can't be countered. Well, guess what? We don't need to counter it. Do they have another counter spell? They do not. I'm assuming they put that on top. They did. Well, Blitz was a great draw. They're down to 3. They're going to play on Dramoka again, I assume, and then we're going to... I think we're going to be able to finish them off here. We'll see. It's not written in stone yet, but I think we're getting close. Well, we're obviously close. All right. We've got exactly 7 instants and sorceries in our graveyard. Do we have it? Move to combat. And we win the match against Lotus Combo. Alrighty, match number 2 on the play. Yeah, this hand's fine. No pressure, but we've got to consider. We've got Fable. 2 Treasure Cruises is pretty awkward, but we will play Riverglide and pass. Blood Crypt. Ugh. All right, we will consider. Sure. We'll take a card they can't They're probably taking Fable here, I would assume. Yep. Sure enough, they do. Crackling Drake. It's pretty decent. All right, pass back. Well, we don't know exactly what we're playing against because I guess they kept a 1-lander. All right. I'm assuming we're playing against Rakdos mid-range, but... Or Rakdos... Right, well, definitely Rakdos, something. Right, we'll keep this. Put back that. Alrighty. They got another Thoughtseize. Duress this time. Sure, they take Fiery Impulse. You got it. Ooh, Spell Pierce. I like that. I like that. Ooh, okay. So Mardu, maybe. We're going to pass. If they have Fable, we want to be able to counter it. Well, We'll counter that too. All right, pass back. They are playing black and red, so they probably have a ton of removal for our creatures. Blood Tithe. Sure. Might have wanted to hold there for the Ledger Shredder. Because we could have played Ledger Shredder and then Fiery Impulse. And then triggered both of our Ledger Shredders. So maybe a little bit of a misplay there. Another Blood Tithe. Gross. Alrighty. Riverglide. 1, 2, 3. All right, those two are good. Or those three are good, rather. Just keep the beats coming. Another Blood Tithe Harvester. Holy smokes. All right, well, they kill one of our Shredders. That's cool. We will trigger Ledger Shredder with our Fable. And they scoop it up. They don't want none. We're 2-0, baby. Alrighty, match number 3 with Zoomer Drakes. This is not keepable, in my opinion. We're on the play. And we've got 2 ops. I mean, yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Because we've got Shredder. We've got a Strangle. It's possible. Kind of risky. Very risky. Always risky keeping a 1-lander, but we're going to believe. We're going to play our pathway, pass, and then opt on their turn. Here we go. Play and pass. Ooh, might be Azorius Control. Both of the bottom that. Fading Home, not great. Come on, land. Well, now we've got to do this. Uh-oh. Definitely don't want to be missing land drops against Azorius Control, but both of the meta decks we've played against, although, I mean, I guess the Mardu deck just played Blood Tithe Harvesters and then died, but both of the meta decks we played against Lotus Combo and Azorius Control, those are my 2 decks that I play, like, mostly. So, can't keep that. Yikes. Motobug is out to get me today. All right. Ooh, okay. Interesting. No Yorion, but they're playing Omen in the Sea. Very interesting. Well, we're going to discard a Treasure Cruise. Castle Ardenvale. Is that their turn? It appears so. All right, well, we'll discard the Strangle. Scry 2 on the Omen. One top, one bottom. Discard Strangle. And now they have mana. Ugh, sheesh. I mean, this is very unlikely. Wandering Emperor. Yep. Discard Fiery Impulse. Actually, we don't even have discard. Fading Hope that. Oh. Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep that on top. It is a land, so we will keep it. Just don't play Teferi. Ooh, they could field us here. Fielding us here would probably be pretty smart, actually. Because they know we scryed on top, so it's very likely that we kept a land. They don't see it that way, though. All right, well, counter this. Literally any counter spell will do, other than Dovin's Veto. Resolves. All right, well. Sure they have some piece of removal for it. Memory Deluge. Yep. All right. Put a +1 counter. So this has first strike. We can't block. Unless for some reason they would play another or play 2 spells main phase. Teferi feels like Shark Typhoon. Gross. All right. Well. No block. No, thank you. All right, so first things first. We will Treasure Cruise. Another Hall of Storm Giants. Wow, dude, we just not drawing lands for real, for real. I mean, I guess we got Spikefield, right? Ledger Shredder gets a +1 counter. I mean, we discard a Crackling Drake. I mean, I just don't see how we're winning this game, to be honest. Don't want that. Pathway, sure. Attack Wandering Emperor. Because somehow they haven't drawn any other planeswalkers. Okie day. Pass back. Got a discard. Fire Impulse seems fine. Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. Attack for 3. Omen, they make a 2/2. Sure. I don't think we have a very good shot at winning this game. We are ahead on clock, though, so I guess no reason to not play it out. We just don't have a good way to deal with Shark Typhoon. Like, at all. Ledger Shredder, interesting. We can Strangle this. Dovin's Veto. That'll make another 2/2. Can't do that. Hang on. Do we have another counterspell? It's very possible. Make disappear, another veto. I'm gonna call it. I don't think we can beat this. I know I just said there's no reason not to, but for my own mental health, we're gonna call it. All right, so Mazemind Tombs definitely come in. Mystical Disputes definitely come in. Disdainful Strokes come in. We could even bring in Brotherhood's War. What comes out? Spikefield Hazards for sure. Fiery Impulses aren't great. This hits Planeswalkers. These hit Planeswalkers. Fading Hope, not excellent. Do I want a Brotherhood's End? That's the question. I think we got... I think Brotherhood's End might actually be better than... Yeah. All right, let's submit this. Strangle or Brotherhood's End. Hard to say. Hard to say. They might bring in Chrome House Seed Shark, and destroying artifacts might be very relevant. All right, same scenario as last match. We lost game 1, but we can come back. It's one thing I have gotten a lot better at recently is not getting tilted after you lose game 1. Just play in the moment. We got Mazemind Tome. I'm going to keep this. We're going to put back this Treasure Cruise. I'm going to play Holland Pass. Treasure Cruise is very good, but you don't really get to cast too many of them. But Treasure Cruise is pretty good in this matchup, obviously. Drawing cards is really good against control. Put a page counter on it. Scry 1. All right. All right. Hall of Storm Giants. Okay. We will bottom that. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. All right, so this will be Omen. See where they go with these. These scries. Bottom, bottom, hopefully. One top, one bottom. All right. Well, split the difference. That's fine. Irrigated farmland. Tapped. We'll draw a card from Tome. Fable. We will opt. I mean, we'll keep that, I guess. That's better. All right. Does it resolve? Pain cost. Gross. Make disappear or veto. Okay, doke. Not a great start for us here in game 2. They've had a very slow start, though, as well, but usually when they can counter your first spell, it's really good for them. Or not first spell, but first spell that's really going to have an impact. Beach, a foil beach at that. That's like my deck. I have one foil beach. That's funny. Narset. All right, we'll tune. Oh, I kept that on tap on accident. That's gross. Alrighty. Well. Do they have a Spell Pierce? They do. Wow. That's pretty gross. What are they going to take? Veto. Well, we knew it. We were supposed to have known about that Spell Pierce. Now they have a veto. Farmland. Yep. Do they veto it? I wouldn't if I were them. Treasure Cruise. Pretty gross with This will get countered. Hopefully they don't have another counter spell. If they have another counter spell, like, I don't know what we're doing. We're just not winning, that's for sure. They might let it go, maybe. If I were them, though, I would fight over this, because with as much card draw as in the, oh my gosh, that's in this deck, you got, I mean, Narset's really good. And yeah, absolutely brutal. And they've got a ton of removal in their hand at this point. 2. Big old Teferi. Here he is. I don't think Tome is where we need to be at this point. We need a way to deal with Narset. If we can get Narset off the table, it opens up these treasure cruises. Mistgate. Untap. So they've got counter magic mana. Well, all right, well, that is a way to get rid of Narset if it resolves. And they don't have removal for it, which is very unlikely at this point. We can't draw. Unlucky. Scry with the Omen. See how they do. One top, one bottom. Draw a card. Irrigated farmland to play. Rest in peace. Sure. Thankfully, Crackling Drake again counts exile cards as well. Doesn't get completely hosed by Rip. So that's good for us. Do they have a removal spell for this Crackling Drake? That's what I'm curious about. Could have March. Could have Fateful Absence. Could make a giant shark, I guess. Could have... Wandering Emperor is another option. Tag Narset. Wow. Okay, Narset's off the table. Narset is off the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Memory Deluge. Okay. Very good. We're way ahead on clock here. I'm not sure it's going to matter. We felt behind almost all game. Basically, since they countered our Fable. Omen here. One top, one bottom again. Field of Ruin, well, that can hit our hall. And they tucked our Drake. This is going to be really hard to win, you guys. Really hard to win. They're tapping. They get to untap it. Another shark different. We're going to take one draw step, and then we're going to concede. We just can't beat. We can beat a Teferi. We can beat a Narset. We can beat a Rest in Peace. We might even be able to beat a Shark Typhoon, but we can't beat all of them in one game. Just not realistic. All right, well, we'll get to draw a card here, assuming this resolves. It hasn't helped us either that they've countered a good majority of our relevant spells this game. Here's a Crackling Drake that we know is there. Yeah, we're going to concede. That's going to do it. All right, so 2-1 with Zoomer Drakes. Izzet Zoomer Drakes. The deck is very powerful. Like I said, Crackling Drake is just a house, an absolute house. You can attack for 8, 9, 10, sometimes even more. The deck's very good. We beat Lotus Field. We beat Red, Black, Splashing White. Didn't quite really get to see what that deck was all about. And then we lost to Azorius Control. But you saw what the deck can do when it's running on all cylinders. Obviously, mana issues, like really against each deck, we ran into mana issues. But specifically in the final match against Azorius Control, yeah, you just can't win whenever they start countering all your relevant spells. But yeah, this deck's really sweet. If you're, like I said, going to play in an RCQ or any other tournaments and you like Izzet-based tempo decks, this might be the deck for you. It took down an RCQ or two throughout the last week, but I'm really excited for it. If you enjoy this one, again, go check out the companion article over on quietspeculation.com. There's a ton of awesome articles from a ton of amazing content creators. If you want to chop it up with me elsewhere, you can check me out on Twitter at LessAlex. I stream weekdays at 9 a.m. over on twitch.tv/LessAlex. And I have a YouTube video as well. You can check that out. All that stuff will be linked in below. But thank you all so much for hanging out and watching this one. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Go read the companion article. And I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will catch you all on the flippy flop. Adios.